Hello, Parkway. Today is Friday, and I'm very happy to be coming to you to bring you a message for the church, but kind of focused the way that we might share it with the children, since I'm the children's minister. I think you know who I am. I'm Miss Valerie. I will be reading today from our children's storybook, and then I will be supplementing my reading from our older children's Bible, because I just have lots that I would like to unpack for you. So as I was trying to decide what I might do for my first devotional for you, I'm a little bit fixated on the fact that I was getting ready to help the church celebrate Passover. So I started thinking more about, well, what is it in the story of Passover that we celebrate in the first place? And so that led me to the book of Exodus, chapter 15, and then the story is in verses 22 through chapter 17. So it goes like this. The Israelites were free from Egypt, but now they were camping in the desert. The people wondered how they would live in the desert away from their homes. The people were unhappy, so they started complaining to their leader, Moses. "Moses, why did you lead us out into the desert?" they grumbled. "We're hungry and there's no food to eat." "Stop grumbling," said Moses. "God is with us. God knows what we need." That evening, quail flew into the camp. The people caught the quail and cooked them and ate them for dinner. Everyone had enough to eat. The next morning, when the people came out of their tents, they saw thin, flaky stuff all over the ground. The people called the flakes manna, and they ate it like bread. "Only gather as much manna as you can eat today," said Moses. "Don't try to keep any of it for tomorrow. God will give us enough for each day." But some of the people didn't listen to Moses. They gathered more manna than they could eat, and they tried to keep the leftovers for later. But the leftover manna became infested with worms. So the people learned to gather just enough manna to eat each morning. Now, the bigger Bible tells us that when Moses said, "This is the bread that the Lord has given you to eat," this is what the Lord commands. "Collect as much of it as you can eat, 1 omer per person. You may collect for the number of people in your household." The Israelites did as Moses said, some collecting more and some collecting less. But when they measured it out by the omer, the ones who had collected more had nothing left over. The ones who had collected less had no shortage. Everyone collected just as much as they could eat. So I kind of wanted to think about that a little bit. Now, when we do manna with the children, we use marshmallows because, they ate manna day and night for 40 years, and they were always satisfied when they ate it. So manna had to be something really yummy, and marshmallows are about the most yummy thing that we could think of. But since, first of all, I haven't been to the store, and secondly, I didn't have any marshmallows in the house. Oh, by the way, we also sometimes tell the children that some people say that in the Bible that the manna would maybe be like frosted flakes. Again, I didn't have any frosted flakes in the house, but I did have some delicious this. So it kind of went like this. Oh, and an omer is about a quart. And this is a quart. So the Bible told us that some people collected more than they needed. And when they did that, there wasn't room for it. They couldn't save it. They couldn't do anything with it. The Bible also says that the people who collected only a little had plenty to eat. And the people who collected too much, they had enough to eat. And I thought that was an important thing for us to think about right now, because a lot of us are scared, a lot of us are unsure about what is going to happen, all kinds of things going through our heads. And I wanted us to remember this story and kind of this emphasis that comes out of my children's Bible. God was providing for the Israelites every day while they moved through the desert. Moses has told them that God would provide enough for each day as it came. Still, the Israelites tried to gather more than they could eat, trying to save it for later. Because they did not trust God, they acted greedy, taking more food than they needed. They soon discovered that following their own ways rather than God's ways wouldn't work. And that's kind of what I think that we can all take from this story from the Bible right now is our ways are not going to work. We are going to have to rely on God through this time. So as you collect what you need every day, take just what you need. Amen.